Welcome to this week's episode of Falcon Fever. I'm your host, Costa Titsikos, and Rita Wright will join us in just a minute from the sports room. We are your weekly source to Montevallo sports. The weekend started out with the women's volleyball team facing off against conference rival Armstrong Atlantic. It's not Halloween yet, but the Lady Falcons start off the game scary good. Number 17 came out of the gate fast with a beautiful ace, followed by the Lady Falcons handing out some rejection like a college acceptance letter. Next, watch out, number 13 for the Falcons delivers a devastating kill. I hope Armstrong Atlantic has some insurance after that one. Katie Hendrick led the team with 17 kills and 9 digs. The game ended with the Falcons losing 3-2. The volleyball team hit the court the next day, this time against Flagler College. The ladies team started out hot with a kill from number 2, Katie Johnson. Next, Flagler answers back with one of their own. But then the Lions put the period on the sentence with a block to close out the Lady Falcons. The Falcons were shut out by a score of 3-0, bringing their overall record to 14-12. This weekend, the Falcons will travel to Jefferson City, Tennessee to compete in the Carson Newman mid-season tournament. There, they will face Lincoln Memorial on October 23rd, then against Carson Newman the next day, and finally against Queens the same day. Now let's head over to Rita Wright in the sports room to find out about the men's and women's soccer teams.
That's right, Costa. The Falcons went to work Saturday against the Hurricanes of Georgia Southwestern. The first half ended scoreless because neither team could get much of an edge. The second half turned into a different story as Milan Polic fired a missile into the net. Minutes later, Danny Pelletier scored his first goal of the season. That sealed the game for the Falcons with a final score of 2-0. The win brings Montevallo's overall record to 7-5 with one tie. The Falcons will be in action October 21st as they host North Georgia in a PBC matchup. This weekend, the Falcons hit the road against Lander, but their game against Tusculum was canceled. The Lady Falcons also took on Georgia Southwestern at home. Montevallo controlled the ball for almost the entire match as they allowed only 2 shot opportunities. Angela Bonacici led the team with 8 shots on her successful one-on-one with the goalkeeper earned her the game-winning goal. The final score, Falcons 1, Hurricanes 0. Monday, Montevallo met North Georgia at home. Early on, the Lady Falcons fell behind, and the Saints took the 2-0 lead into the half. The second half, the team worked together. It paid off with a goal tapped in by freshman Paige Scott. In spite of the rally, the Saints clinched victory with the score of 3-1. Montevallo's overall record now stands at 5 wins, 7 losses, and 2 ties. The Lady Falcons soccer team and volleyball teams wore pink jerseys during the play this past week in support of breast cancer. Coach Patricia Hughes says it's a tradition they hope to continue.
All in all, between the men's and women's soccer and the volleyball event, we've raised over $400 in donations. We've sold over $800 worth of t-shirts, which the bigger value there is that we've increased awareness about breast cancer for both the male and female population, and we're just really appreciative of the support and all that the department has done in highlighting this event. We couldn't do it without the great work and effort of Don Makovsky and Amy Cook and all the folks that work behind the scenes to make these events so great. So again, great event all week for the Falcons, great money raised, and again, really excited to be a part of this wonderful charity. So thank you.
The Lady Falcons' 3 remaining games are on the road as they face Lander on October 24th. Then they match up with conference leader Columbus State on October 28th. They'll wrap up the season with a match against Georgia Southwestern on Halloween. The women's tennis team is in action this week. Tune back in next week for highlights from their match against Central Alabama Community College. Now let's head back over to Costa and see how the women's cross-country team is doing so far this season.
Over the weekend, the women's cross-country team earned its first victory of the season. It was at the Tiger Twilight Invitational hosted by Sewanee, the University of the South. The Falcons beat out 2 other teams to capture the victory. They won over the host school as well as Birmingham Southern College. Haley Evans and Kaylee Glover finished both first and second to lead the Falcons to victory. The Falcons will race again October 24th at the Peach Belt Conference Championship in North Carolina. This week's Falcon Fever Player of the Week is men's soccer player Milan Polic. Polic led his team to victory over the weekend against Georgia Southwestern by scoring the first goal in what would end as a 2-0 win for the Falcons.
Hey, my name is Milan Polic and I'm from Serbia. This is my 3rd year in University of Montevallo, and it's my pleasure to play for University of Montevallo soccer team. All the guys are fantastic and have a great time playing with them and spending time on the field and off the field. I expect to graduate in 2011 with a degree of business marketing, and I have a feeling that I'm going to miss Montevallo as soon as I leave it. I expect to graduate in 2011 with a degree of business marketing, and I have a feeling that I'm going to miss Montevallo as soon as I leave it, because I spend so much time here, I make so many friends, there's so many parts of Montevallo that I feel they're part of me, and just a great place to hang out. Even if it's small school, I think it's better for me as a foreign student to find the friends and get along with the teachers, because we don't have that many people in the class as we would have in a big university. And just is a great way to start my international traveling career. Hopefully I'm gonna move southern USA after this and finish my master's degree. And always gonna be a pleasure of mine to come to Montevallo and hang out with my friends again and visit them in their homes and spending time with them.
If you have any pictures from any Montevallo sporting events, please send them to our email address at masscom00@gmail.com. If you would like to watch a replay of today's show or any other show of the past week, visit our website at montevallo.edu/MC or look us up on YouTube by just searching Falcon Fever. That's all we have for this week. I'm your host, Coach Tuchikos. That was Rita Wright. Keep your eye on the ball and see you next week.